the nice thing about the auto, we can just maintain that without worrying about slipping the clutch. That's it. So there we go. And this is nowhere near the tip angle of the car, but it's a nice. Well, of course, they don't build roads like this for some strange reason, and that's why it's a slightly unusual situation. Okay. So nice and slowly, and try not to get tempted to get on the gas. More. So the slower you go, come right over the slower you go, the far more stable it's going to be. Just hold the steering where it is now, stay on the brakes. If it slides, release the brakes and steer left. We can straighten up a little, I'm confident in this. So there's the red light, we've lifted the back end. Yeah, slightly uncomfortable feeling there, but there we go. Okay, so it's really a question of understanding what's the worst case scenario. Run through them.
Okay, well I've got ruts.
You've got ruts.
So I need to make sure where I'm steering is going to be. And I'm not at the moment.
Which way? Why was that almost predictable that the steering would be wrong?
Because I've just come round a corner.
Of course. When you just come around the corner, the ruts will enable the car to go in the direction that you expect it to go.
Yeah.
But the steering still could be inaccurate, and it still could be unstraightened.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So steering accuracy is the first one.
Yeah.
What's next?
Well, it's going to be a little bit slippy going up there.
Looks like it's been muddy everywhere else. So yeah.
So momentum's going to be a better option, but I haven't got a lot of a run up for it.
True. So the technique there is smooth throttle application and gently but accurately build the momentum up if we so need it.
So I probably don't want to be in first. I want to be able to go to a higher gear.
Yep. But in your car, that's going to be difficult, isn't it? So
because it will, yeah.
So is it safe to fail?
Yeah, I could probably run down a little bit.
Yeah, you could always back off.
Yeah,
so
this
first attempt at going up here hasn't got to be successful. We can take an exploratory ride at it with minimum momentum. If it doesn't work, we could back off.
Back down.
Then we could do it differently with experience. And we could maybe add a little bit of momentum, maybe add a gear, whatever, to get up there. Okay. But it's not imperative that we get up there first time. So we haven't got to break the car to guarantee we get up first time.
Yeah.
So that's the big thing. Okay, so we
leave it
go on
first then.
Well, if you like, the danger, of course, is that you're bouncing on the gas pedal. But if you want to try it,
let's go and
first gear means that you've got to be ever so gentle with the gas because the car will easily spin the wheels.
Yeah. Well, let's try second.
Yeah, up to you. But you've got to try a smooth thing. And in all honesty, do you think this is difficult or easy?
Looking at me in that field yesterday, I think probably quite difficult. But that was only my...
All right. When we looked up the field, when we were looking at the ruts, what did we see?
A lot, they were a lot wetter.
They were a lot wetter. What they were was very, very shiny because every car that went up there before was spinning wheels.
Yeah.
Now look at the ruts here.
We've got a lot more traction.
Yeah.
Potentially.
You can actually see clearly defined tyre tread marks.
Yeah.
So that means that there was no wheel spin.
Yeah.
Now, unfortunately, we don't know whether those wheels are going up or down, but it does show us that there is a degree of grip there.
Yeah.
Because those wheels blatantly were not spinning.
Yeah.
So we can afford to take the gentle approach to start with, and it'll probably be successful. Okay.
Let's try it then.
All right then, let's go.
See, I really want to steer left.
Why?
Because I'm quite close here.
Well,
but
if you look at this mirror, it's similar this side as well. So let's not just look after one half of the car just because you're sitting there.
On this side, though.
So far, car's responding quite nicely.
Yeah, I've got a bit of a slide there.
Yeah. So even without the terrain response being selected, the car was very able to go up there without any special device for it.
Just let you know.
To drive to the right hand side of that, behind the pile of stone is a substantial tree.
Right.
I'd like you to turn hard left behind that and then there's another track that goes down. That's Vaughan's Hill that you heard me talking
Okay.
about. So I think what we'll do is we'll drive up there to where the stone is and stop, because that gives us options. If we meet the other car wherever he is, we've got room for manoeuvre.
Okay.
So immediately, what can you see?
I can see. I've got
a big lean. Your car could not do this.
No.
Because the trees.
Well, the trees are there.
So you'd have to get your little saw out and take all the trees off.
Yeah. Oh,
okay.
Well.
Or build the track up so the car is more level.
Put some rocks in this side.
This is a big hazard to your car.
Yeah, yeah.
Right. So, but this one will, if you drive steadily without any dynamics, we will keep the roof just off that tree. Okay. Now, in theory, you can just about get your fingers between the roof and the tree.
Oh, so
it's quite tight.
Loads of room.
So first gear, nice and steady, and we will get by there, and it's going to be no drama at all.
Okay.
Too fast, and we're not going to be very kind to the tree.
Okay, let's get in the ruts.
Steer accurately in the ruts. There is no point in trying to steer away from the tree, because as you've just found out,
we're in the ruts.
The gravity and the lack of grip is taking you in there. So all you can do is drive nice and steady. Now, can you imagine trying to get your car through? Yeah, it's not going to work, is it? No. But there is no requirement for us to drive with any momentum through here. Now, if you just stop there and look in your mirror or whatever, you can see that even this car is getting fairly close. But you've driven in such a nice, controlled manner that if you felt that it was too tight, we could stop. We still haven't damaged the car, the environment, or people. Yeah. We could do something about it. Yeah. So we could just move on nice and slowly. It's even getting closer now, look. Yeah. Well done. Right. At this point, Phil, what's your radio number, please? Over.
312, Mike.
Roger that. Worse than that. The first bit we've got is the descent.
Yeah.
What is the danger on a descent?
That you lose traction
and slide down. Well, that's not the worst thing that's ever happened to you, because it's not 2 miles, is it? It's only a few meters. The danger, however, is that our steering is wrong, and as the weight transfer comes over, it kicks off sideways. That's right. So the first thing is, let's make sure as we drive over, the steering is correct and accurate. Okay. Having done that, the rest falls into place in terms of controlling the speed through gears, etc. And so steering's pretty good. So what we'll do, we'll probably have to put a bit of left steering on, but know we've got left on to correct it. Now here, because it's so steep, let's stay on the brakes for as long as we can. If it starts to slide, then we'll just gently come off the brakes. Okay, just give it a try. So steering is the big thing. Bit steeper than you thought. So where should the steering be?
A bit more to the...
No, we'll just, well, that's about right, but we're just, as we go down now, but the nice thing is we have got sufficient grip to be able to hold a discussion halfway down. Okay, so we just repeat that process, keeping our steering fairly accurate. We need to steer, but not oversteer. On the brakes and just try and control it as long as grip will allow us. Oh, that's nice. So, stop the car here. No, not here. We're level. So if this was soft, we are now sinking. Right, if we stop back there,
stop on the...
yeah,
should you go back now or carry on?
We'll try it. Let's see if we can get out. But the point is, the stop part would have been where we know we can get going again.
Nose down and...
But what the point I was going to make was, we had so much grip on the descent, it's likely that we're going to get more grip than we think on the climb. And that is probably the grippiest I've ever known, that obstacle. Yeah. So, if you've got the grip, that's it, just here. I was out, not here, I did a job with, what's the name of the gardener who turned into a chat show host?
Oh, I'm Titchmarsh.
Titchmarsh, that's
Titchmarsh. Excuse me.
He's actually quite a lovely guy, and he was saying, "Oh, we'll turn left at this," and he was using the Latin terms for this name of this tree.
Oh, all the trees.
Yeah, he's just taking the mick. It was quite funny. But we got to one, and I said, "Well, I turn around this tree," and he said, "Which one?" Expecting me to come with the Latin. I said, "The wooden one." Okay, so here
well,
we
to
are.
me, because I've got a curve, I'd go round to the left and round rather than cut.
You would. However, what's going to be the limiting factor on that?
The what's underneath me.
The ruts.
The
Because
ruts,
there are going to be ruts.
yeah.
It's soft. So, whilst your desire is correct, in reality,
The car
you're
will just
going
take
to
me where I'm
be
going to
taken
go.
round. Yeah, yeah. But you desire to keep the back end of the car away from the apex of the bend, which
Yeah.
is absolutely spot on. So,
Right, let's see what we're
little
doing.
tiny bit of gas. Now we're in the right gear. All the doors are shut. We don't normally use this, so I feel quite privileged that we're over
We're
here.
allowed to do this.
Well, it's just the erosion and the English nature's
course.
interested into the sediment that we're throwing around and stuff like that. So, it's not an everyday occurrence, which is quite nice really. That's a bit deeper, isn't it? And you can feel the difference in the
Yeah.
car.